Thought Bubble Audio.
Testing 1, 2, 3, Starship Enterprise log 678943321.
Go.
This is your captain speaking. Please board all windows. Okay.
Look, up in the sky.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, the podcast where we reminisce about our geeky childhoods with our un-geeky beer. I'm Tim.
And I'm Frank.
And Frank, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking Oktoberfest
Good
because
for
that's
you.
that's been our go-to.
It
We're
is our
working
go-to.
through.
And, well, we're practically out of the Oktoberfest season.
Yeah,
besides,
but
so-
we had some left over. Want to work through it before
Yeah.
we get to some of the more festive seasonal beers.
eggnog beer.
I mean, you said it. I didn't.
It could be a thing.
Could be.
All right, and your next brew job will be
Exactly.
eggnog beer.
Mm.
That's going to taste terrible. Why is my beer milky?
Well, I mean, like, there's milk stouts.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You know.
Yeah, but I was thinking like the heavy cream
I
of
know. Yeah,
eggnog.
I know.
You know what? Sometimes the color of eggnog?
Oh, don't do this.
The Starship Enterprise. I guess it is. It's that off-white color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So today, no, it's also kind of the color of eggnog. Data's skin.
You know what else starts with egg? The egg on your face.
I don't have an egg on my face.
No.
Oh, it hurts.
Yeah, no, it's Star Trek.
Phase you into oblivion.
Oh my god! And he actually wait a minute. He actually just pulled a phaser out of his drawer and pointed it at me. Because this is our friendship right here. Literally has the phaser from the 2009
I don't know if it was sent
reboot.
to
Stun or kill.
I don't know
I'm
if
gonna
it
say the
was
red
sent-
one is kill,
I think
and the
red
blue
one-
one's probably stun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
By the blue one, you mean the silver one?
Oh, did I say blue?
Yeah.
That looked blue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know
So-
how hard it was for me to hide this from you? Like while I was like,
Oh, you brought it
it's
into
in the other room, so I was
Right.
like holding it behind my
I don't
back,
know how
like,
you did
trying to
that.
stuff it in the back of my pants, but I'm wearing a long shirt, so like I couldn't like lift my shirt
Wow.
up while
Wow.
putting the-
You went a long way for a joke that no one can see.
I know it was all for you.
Wow.
And then I'm like sliding it into the drawer of the podcast booth. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I
So
got
in
this.
1966, Gene Roddenberry brought to the airwaves through Desilu Productions.
Desilu.
That's right.
Yeah.
Brought to the
Desi
airwaves.
Arnaz fame, if you weren't sure what Desilu
That
was.
is correct. I think
Lucille Ball.
we made reference to it in our Love Lucy episode.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
We
I think
talked
so.
about it. Yeah.
But yeah, Star Trek came to be, and everyone was much happier for it.
Anyway, yeah, everyone was much happier for it. Now, did you grow up on Star Trek, or is this a later discovery like the rest of your geekdom?
Actually,
Besides Superman,
yeah.
and Star Wars.
I grew up with it. I would say I grew up with it. I remember first really becoming interested in Star Trek probably around the same age that I did with Star Wars, so probably 7, 8 years old.
Mhm.
Pretty young. I remember that for some reason or other, some local channel in New York did a Star Trek marathon where they were showing original Trek
Okay.
episodes, and I remember taping that. So I had like 6 episodes on one tape that I just watched over and over and over again. So yeah, that's where that's how I first got into it, and I was super into it at that point. And really got interested in it and watched. I haven't seen every single episode of the original series, but I
Okay.
have seen the vast majority of them. I've seen I've seen everything in season 1 and season 2, and more than half of everything in season 3.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and that's just bits and pieces of what I saw in
that's
reruns.
Quite a bit, though.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've talked about it before. But everyone's got their corner of geekdom, and Star Trek is not your.
It's not my number one. Yeah, it's not like
definitely top 10, but not your number one.
Yeah, maybe even top 5,
Yeah.
but not number 1. No.
Okay. No. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think Star Trek makes it into top 10 for me, but it might even be sidled down into like the 15 area. I didn't grow up on the original show. My first introduction to Star Trek was either Next Generation or the greatest movie of all time, Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
The Motionless Picture.
The Motionless Picture.
Oh,
1979. Man. No, there was a lot of motion. It was just on the outside of the Starship Enterprise.
It was the camera moving around the Enterprise.
Oh my god, what a boring movie!
It is a boring. You know what? Here's the thing: when there's actually stuff happening, it's not bad. It's just that there's so much filler.
You could cut out all of the glory shots of the Enterprise and have yourself a pretty decent 20-minute episode. Yeah,
which is what that was. You know,
yeah,
we know the story that it was supposed to be a 2-parter episode, like the pilot for a new Star Trek series that never got off the ground. So they just stretched it, turned into a movie, and
which was successful enough to then turn into one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time.
That's right,
Wrath of Khan.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
When Into Darkness came out, the latest Star Trek movie,
that movie that totally did not have Khan in it.
Did not. J.J. Abrams
totally not Khan
lying to us and stuff. You know, he actually did an interview and said that if he went back and did it differently, he'd be like, "I would have just told you it was Khan."
He regretted
because it wasn't worth it.
You all
stupid.
Knew. The way they did it was stupid.
I agree.
Nope,
totally
it's not him. Wink, wink.
Yeah, totally was.
Yeah.
But see, like, I think that the idea of Khan is great among fandom, but this is my story. It relates. So, my brother went to go see it on his own. Well, not on his own, but like he didn't see it with any like Trek fan, I guess, or a big one, or even myself.
Okay.
And so he texted me and he was like, you know, saw the new Star Trek movie. It was awesome. But I guess this Khan guy is like a big deal. Like there was another movie with him. He had like, that's just not.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. And my brother's a big movie fan.
Yeah.
He likes the genre and all that stuff, but it's just, who's this Khan? Like,
it's not his thing. Yeah.
And I heard other people say that, like that reveal in that movie was like, oh, so what?
I feel like I should know what this means.
Like I should know what this means. My name is Khan.
Yeah.
And every Trek fan goes, we knew it.
Yeah.
And then everybody else goes, cool.
Okay, that's
like,
your name.
Well, that's your cool.
Right.
Are you related to of Genghis?
Yeah.
Fame? Like,
yeah.
It's just very, yeah. It's so anyway. But going back to that.
Sure.
So I've only seen snippets of the show, different episodes here and there. Like usually it ends up being like I've seen like the big famous ones where like Captain Kirk fights. It has a real name, but it's like the lizard.
The lizard head guy.
The Gagor, the Gongrin, the Gagad. Someone's yelling at their.
Yeah,
someone's yelling
real
at us
hard.
super hard right now, and
Sorry,
I
guys.
apologize. But
sorry.
It's the trouble of being a Tribbling Trekkie.
That's
like,
right.
I just don't. I just don't.
The trouble with being a Tribbling Trekkie.
Yeah. But I'm not that much of a Tribbling Trekkie that I couldn't make that joke.
Hey,
yeah.
There we go.
Aha.
Hey.
Trekkie.
Yeah,
it's
Trekker. I do
Trekker.
prefer Trekker.
Yeah. All right. So that all being said, the ultimate question that has been brewing in fans' minds since the 90s.
Kirk.
I couldn't even say my question. You don't know what I was going.
I do. I did know what you said. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Know why?
Why?
Because I could have easily been like
Janeway.
No, a Mulgrew or something like that. You don't know.
That's Janeway.
Oh, that's her.
Yeah, Kate Mulgrew's the actress, but Captain Janeway is the.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, but yeah, my point exactly. My point. You didn't know.
You're
All
right.
right.
You're right.
So
Scott Bakula.
My point.
I picked Scott Bakula as my favorite.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Okay. Picard or Kirk?
Kirk.
No.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep asking you until you change your mind. Yeah. Why?
Swagger. He's got that. Come on, like James Tiberius Kirk. With that
is a great name.
Well, yeah. First off, yes. But like he's a ladies' man. He is confident to a fault.
And Picard is not a ladies' man
Of
or
course,
confident to a fault.
Yeah, but it's a whole different kind. He's American. He's Indiana Jones in space.
Yeah. Basically Indiana Jones.
He's Indiana
like a crew.
He's Indiana Jones, more rebellious in some ways and more law-abiding in other ways.
Okay. Arguably.
That's how I look at it.
That's true.
Yeah, and now Tim is setting his phaser to kill, and he's going to tell me why P likes Picard better.
Picard. All right. He's Patrick Stewart.
All
End of argument.
Drop
phaser,
mic.
Phaser drop. like,
said phaser to drop.
Yeah. No, he's super cool.
Yeah.
He's confident. Yes. Arguably a better captain than Kirk because I think he makes more sound decisions.
Yeah. No, I would say he's a better captain. Like objectively a better captain.
Objectively, he's a better captain because he's like, I'm the captain. I'm going to stay on this ship.
Mm-hmm.
You, landing party, go do your duty.
Right.
Like, whereas Kirk's like, I'm going to be the only one that go out there. Spock, if I don't make it back, you're captain. And every week, Spock is like, all right, captain. Like, no problem. Like, just shut up. Like, we're best friends, but sometimes I hate you.
Yeah.
Like, and so I just think I just like that part of him better. Plus, I mean, like, he's got the swagger. He's all about like the Earl Grey.
Different kind of swagger.
Yeah,
very cool. Hot. Don't get me wrong. I love some Jean-Luc Picard, but it's a different kind of swagger, different kind of charm.
Oh, he draws the line here. This line, no father.
No father.
Yeah.
It was here, number one. It was here.
Yeah. No. It's true. It's true. He does. He has his own charm. He is a distinguished gentleman.
Yeah, and I really like that about him.
Yeah,
and I also think that it's like a Bond thing.
Your first.
It could potentially be your first. Now
that could be.
That's not always. It's not always the case.
Yeah. Because
I'm pretty sure that no one was like, Janeway's my favorite because it was my first.
Yeah, I mean somebody probably
there could be somebody,
yeah.
Because she was the first, she was the captain,
sure.
All that stuff. But sometimes I think it's the quality of it could just be the quality of the show.
Of the show itself. The stories.
Yeah. But you don't hear about like Captain Cisco too much
True.
Or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even
Deep
though
Space Nine for all
that show does have the people who like Deep Space Nine have a deep loyalty to it. Yeah.
Nine. Absolutely.
Yeah, they do.
Well, is it Voyager or Deep Space Nine that started like story arcs across the season instead of episodic television?
I think Voyager came first, so I think it would have been Voyager.
So it's Voyager.
Yeah. Voyager has that whole long. Well, I mean, I guess you could say that Next Generation did that to a certain extent.
Deep Space Nine was 93 to 99.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Why do I feel like it was okay? So
Voyager was 95 to 2000.
Yeah, I'm just patently wrong about that.
I was gonna say so. Voyager came first, so Voyager came second, so maybe Voyager that did the yeah because I think people look down on Voyager a little bit more.
They do. Actually, I have a funny story about Voyager. When I was in third grade. I think I told you this story before, but for our podcast listening audience, I had a teacher when I was in third grade who was Voyager obsessed.
Really?
Obsessed.
Obsessed
like I'll tell you how obsessed. So she fancied herself the captain of the classroom, and she started naming her students, like nicknaming students after characters on the show. So
it's like, I don't remember your name, but you're Torres.
Well, not even,
like,
I mean,
whatever.
Yeah, not remembering, but like that was your classroom nickname. I was Commander Chakotay. That was my nickname in the classroom.
Beltran.
There was that's right. There was a Tuvok. There was a B'Elanna. There was a Seven of Nine, who we just called Seven. There was and only the teacher used these nicknames. No one else.
Who was the doctor?
I don't remember.
Oh, that's upsetting.
I don't remember.
Because there's that one kid that's like, I could also be from Doctor Who.
It's the kid.
I don't like Voyager, but I'm a Time Lord.
No, this kid was just invisible and a hologram, and so we called the doctor. No, I'm kidding. So she was obsessed to the point like we had like a Star Trek day
Oh wow!
Once a year, where she would make all the kids dress up in costumes. She had the Janeway uniform. She was always Janeway for Halloween every year. She had this little, those little desk organizer things that it's got room for like a pad of Post-it notes and like a thing to stand up your pens and your scissors and organize all your office supplies on your desk.
Yes.
She had one of those that was Voyager themed. It was shaped like it just had
rocket
like
ship?
no. It just had like the Star Trek, the Starfleet insignia, the more modern version of it on there and everything. And in fact, if you pressed that button, it made the red alert sound. There's a number of buttons you could press, and it made a different sounds. But you press the communicator button, and it made the red alert sound. And at the end of our snack time every day, or like mini indoor recess we had because we were in 3rd grade,
right?
You'd have your snack, and you'd have there's like a mini recess just in the classroom. And at the end of snack time, it was always somebody's job to walk around the room pressing the red alert button to tell everyone that it was time to get back in their seats.
Oh my god!
This is how obsessed she was.
Oh my god!
She had checks. Her checkbook was Voyager. The last day of school, we sat down and watched the Voyager season finale for that season. It was.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Unless the kids
No.
Oh, never mind.
They didn't care.
I was gonna say, all right.
She was just that weird teacher who loved Star Trek.
It's too bad because if she was into it, if they were into it,
she
was different.
She was into it, but she wasn't cool. She even
not like the way you and I are cool,
right?
Yeah,
yeah, because we're cool. Hey. No, she actually. I don't know if I told you this part. She got a hold of Jerry Ryan, who played 7 of 9, and we interviewed her.
What?
A phone interview.
Oh, as a class?
She picked 2 or 3 of us. As a class, we all came up with questions, a list of questions.
Okay.
And
we
interviewed her on the phone, tape recorded it with a cassette. And the transcript of that interview was it probably still isn't, but was on Jerry Ryan's official website for many years.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
really?
This 3rd grade class in New York interviewed me, and here's what they asked me.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, it's probably not there anymore, but yeah.
Oh, that's really
for several
funny.
years it was up there. Anyway, so that's my Voyager story. I remember watching the finale and seeing that show ended in 2001. I could have sworn it ended a couple years earlier than that, but
to my knowledge /Wikipedia.
Yeah, I do remember. I remember the series finale, but I just I don't know. I remember it being earlier.
Yeah, I can't find it. Oh well,
that's okay.
Search.
That's okay.
Search later.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your favorite series?
Out of Deep Space Nine, Voyager, original series.
Yeah.
Talking about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give
Enterprise. Out of all of them.
It's a good question because I have gone back and watched the original series is it's classic.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Even they were progressive, even though the black lady answered the space phone.
Yeah, but I mean,
she was nice. I've met her. She's super.
That's
nice.
right. We did meet her.
Yeah. And by we, you mean I met her while you were off doing something else, and I chatted.
I was there.
I don't remember that part.
I was there.
I remember you setting up in the booth to interview
Miracle Lori. Yeah.
And then I was just because I was.
It's not I wasn't there. I was around. You had a direct conversation with her, and I was present for it.
That's what.
Okay. Yes.
Didn't want to be confused.
No, I won't take credit where credit's not due.
Right.
But I was there, and she was super nice.
She was nice.
Super nice.
She was really nice.
Yeah.
I felt bad because no one was at her booth, so I was standing there. I'm like, hey, long day. Yeah, I understand.
She's so nice.
We had a moment. She was super nice.
Yeah. You guys did have a moment. Yeah.
We had a moment. Just a moment in the con. I didn't kiss her.
Oh, the con, Sulu, you have the con, but also it was a con. Yes, it was Big Apple Con.
Yes.
Mr. Sulu, you have the con.
Who are you? Sulu, sir. Anyway, so I'm gonna give it to Next Generation because I think that was really because the motion picture was not. It actually kind of turned me off from Star Trek. I'm like, boy, if this is Star Trek, I'm not interested.
So the next thing you saw was Next Generation.
I think so. It was either Next Generation first or not. I have a friend who, whenever I would go over his house when I was little, Next Generation was always on the TV.
Oh yeah.
Even to this day, something like when you go over, if it's on one of those channels that is just marathons all the way through, it's on the TV. And so, because the whole family likes it, it's not like a oh, just so and so.
It's the whole family.
Yeah, the whole family kind of likes it. Even and if they're not like, yes, we love Star Trek, they're at least like, oh, Picard, we like Picard. And oh, look, it's Whoopi.
Yeah.
So, and so I'm gonna give it to that one. I also really. When I think of like what the bridge of the Enterprise looks like and everything, my mind always jumps to Next Generation.
Enterprise D.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of I think that's my go-to.
Nice.
Yeah, I can kind of keep that one on in the background. And
and there's enough of it that there's
Oh yeah, show is well, one, it was popular.
Yeah.
It was on for was it 87 to 94.
Yeah.
So years of that.
Yeah, however many years.
As
well, Tim does math.
7 years.
7 years, yeah.
7 years.
7 of 9.
Yeah,
years.
But I mean, like, I also have a connection. Like, I really like Brett Spiner. I've met Brett Spiner.
Yes, that's right. That was the same day we met Nichelle Nichols.
Was that the same day?
That was the same day. Yeah, it had to be the same day.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Sometimes the cons run together in my mind.
Yeah.
I talked to him about 1776.
And he was like, "Oh, where'd you see the show?" And you're like, "In my car on the soundtrack."
The album, because obviously I saw it on Broadway because that's where it was.
Obviously,
right?
Yeah. He was nice.
Yeah.
He was nice. He wouldn't shake hands with us because he was sick.
He was sick.
So he was like, "Nope, don't shake hands."
No fist pump. Which was very nice of him. And I said, "Oh, I think I'm getting sick too. Don't worry about it." And he was like, "You're gonna shake my hand when you thought I was getting sick." And I was like, "Oh my god, why can't I talk to people?" Like, I have no problem meeting people, talking to them, like whatever. But I get like celebrity flummoxed.
Yeah.
Like really bad.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if I want to meet them, I can meet a celebrity that I have like no interest in meeting and talk to them, no problem.
Oh, sure.
Like,
then there's like some other person.
Just a person. Right. But if it's like, oh my god, it's John Schneider.
Like, yeah.
Oh my god, it's Brett Spiner. Oh my god, it's Patrick Stewart.
Let's just leave it.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, but I could talk to. But if it's like, I've seen them on the television,
right?
But I mean, like when we met Miracle Laurie, like I was like, "Hi."
Yeah, right. You didn't know her that well, so it's just like, "Oh, you're nice.
You're good on Dollhouse."
Right.
I didn't see that twist coming.
Yeah.
Summary of the whole show.
Yeah.
Like, didn't see that twist coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what I kind of. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Anyway. All right. So that's all classic.
Yeah.
And then 2009 came.
In
which J.J. Abrams came and dabbled in the Star Trek universe and gave us aptly named Star Trek, the next motion picture. Okay.
Yeah, so after years of every other Star Trek movie being really good,
look, Space Whales. I
like that movie.
I know, it's one of the better ones.
Double dumbass on you.
Which says a lot about the Star Trek movies. But I'm like, the Space Whales one is the good one.
Captain, there be whales here. That's a great movie. Yeah. But so you have all the TOS cast movies, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have the Next Generation movies. And then we reboot.
Yeah.
We reboot and we come to the J.J. Abrams era.
Yeah.
Which that movie
it still blows my mind.
I've seen it upwards of 30 times.
Yeah. Nero doesn't hit my favorite
maybe 40 times.
List, unfortunately.
No. But
Christopher, I'm Nero.
I'm Nero. He made our intro.
He made the intro. Yeah.
So I have such a special spot in my heart for that movie. I love it so much.
You do.
I can really watch it anytime, no matter what I'm doing.
My jaw doesn't drop a lot when I see films. Like, I don't like get blown away by stuff.
Yeah.
Some things I do. I got blown away. I mean, even in trailers or whatever, I was like, I got blown away. I got blown away by the now I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. The giant sea monster dinosaur in Jurassic World, the trailer.
Oh yeah.
When the shark's going and he jumps up, my mouth dropped open. I was like,
That was cool.
My God, that was cool. My mouth dropped open pretty much the entirety of Interstellar. Like, yeah, stuff like that. But I remember when Nero's ship like shows up for the first time at the beginning of the movie. Boom, boom. And my mouth just completely fell open so wide that ship could have flown into my mouth. Like, and it was huge.
Just coming out of that black hole, just like, here it comes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think the movie's clever.
Yes.
I think it's a great way of pleasing fans and the regular masses alike.
Yep.
And
Star Wars fans.
And Star Wars fans, truly.
It's Star Wars.
I saw this meme the other day where it's Thor and Jane Foster walking, and it's like that moment you realize that Kirk's dad and Skywalker mom dated.
Yes,
and you're like,
yes.
oh my God, it's so
wow.
true. It's so true.
Yeah.
But no, I love the whole movie. I love the lens flare.
Yeah.
I think everyone was really cast pitch perfectly.
Brilliantly.
Yeah, I like the tweaks that they made to characters to make them just a little bit more modern, but not enough that you're like, who is this person?
Right.
You know, all of it. Even characters that are like fan favorites that even got a lot of fan service, like Captain Pike or something like that.
Yeah,
Bruce
right,
Greenwood,
right.
just
Yeah.
I love him in that movie.
I crush on him.
Yeah, Bruce Greenwood.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Voiced Batman twice.
That's right.
Twice.
That's right. Yeah.
Under the Red Hood and Young Justice. Yeah. And so that movie was great. And then we kind of already talked about Into Darkness slightly
a little bit.
already.
Yeah.
Did you? I don't think it hits the same notes for me as the first one did.
It's not quite the same. They didn't quite recapture the magic of the first one.
No, they didn't.
I still enjoy it.
I still enjoy it. Yeah. Sometimes I get a hankering for that one instead. For just sometimes I like it when like the gang's all here already. Kind of thing. Like, I like origin stories a lot, but sometimes I want them to already have their act together.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm part of it. Like it. Plus Admiral RoboCop. I mean,
that's right.
Come on.
That's right.
Yeah. Admiral RoboCop. So no, I think that one tried to do a little bit more fan service than necessary.
Yeah, it did try a little too hard in some ways.
Because it was like, this is hallowed ground, so how do we approach this? And that's kind of where I thought it needed to be tweaked.
So there was a lot of like the homage to Wrath of Khan. It's like, oh, it's the second movie in our series, just like Khan was the second movie in the first series. And,
right.
I think they did a good job with it, decent job with it. It's not, if I want a good Khan story, I'm still going to watch Wrath of Khan. They did not beat Wrath of Khan.
No. But I think if you're familiar with Wrath of Khan, the mystery of Into Darkness is gone.
Yes, the mystery is gone
for a lot of things.
But it's also, I would argue, maybe the only way you can fully appreciate Into Darkness, because if you were an original Star Trek fan, when Wrath of Khan came out, it's like, oh, that's the villain from that one episode. Like,
right.
So you're familiar already with that villain, so it has meaning, it has gravity to it.
Yeah.
Right. And they even went to try and set it up at the beginning of the film again, and so like, this is a callback to the show.
Right.
Chekhov being all horrified even though he wasn't in that episode.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. But then Into Darkness, I felt like, yes, they did set up, yes, they showed he was a bad guy from the start, but it didn't have the same gravity to it, in my opinion.
No, I
that
agree.
Wrath of Khan does, and for someone if you didn't know who he was, so like your brother, for example, not knowing who he was, probably didn't have the same weight as it would for someone being like, oh my God, this is freaking Khan, like oh my God.
I agree.
Yeah,
and I think what makes a lot of Wrath of Khan work is the history of the characters together.
Yes.
And our characters in the new rebooted universe, or I guess new universe, not really rebooted, but they don't have that history.
Yeah.
yet.
Never met.
And so, yeah, right. So, but it not only that, but I'm thinking like the end with of course, the spoiler, but
right.
But like with Jim's death and Spock freaking out and it being like the reverse of the original, which was,
right.
But the original, the gravitas is there.
Yep.
You have been friends for decades.
Yes.
Your friend is dead.
Mm-hmm. This is like
have been in the new one. You've been acquaintances and colleagues for
a couple years.
Yeah, maybe. Like you kind of get along, and then it's only in his death that you realize that the friendship is there.
Right.
And so it's like I get all of it, but I mean, like the gravitas is just not the
exactly.
same.
It's not earned the same way it was the first time.
I agree, but I mean. It's also a movie universe. You don't earn it the same. You don't earn things the same way. That's like Wrath of Khan is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah. Whereas when you're making movies, you got to make allowances and whatever else. And I still think the twist is good. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah. And I still like the movie. Michael Giacchino's score.
Oh, perfect.
Superb.
Love it. Yeah. Can't stop listening to it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
But what else can't you stop listening to, Frank?
This show.
You're right. I can't either.
Yeah, I love the sound of my own voice. That's not true.
No, that's not true. I hate listening to myself.
I actually can't listen to our show outside of editing it. I'm just like, I can't listen to myself.
Yeah, no.
I'm done editing it. I'm like, great, never have to listen to that one again.
No, it's funny because like when I go back and listen to see like because I apparently hate myself, you know, and I want to.
You hate listen?
I hate listen, and so I'll listen to you. I'm like, oh, Frank is so interesting.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
Shut up, Tim. Frank is talking. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, if you think we're funny, please rate us on Beer with Geeks on the iTunes.
Oh yeah.
We can also find us on the Stitcher, on the Twitter, and the Facebook with the Beer with Geeks.
And the Gmail.
That's
right.
I knew I forgot one.
And even the .com.
Oh, the .com, which is a great source of information and basically a source of information is where you can get our podcast. I almost forgot what this was called.
It's a radio show on the interwebs.
I like the interwebs.
A series of tubes.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it works?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's more like a big truck, but whatever.
I'll have to thank Al Gore.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This podcast is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. All character names, sound effects, and quotes are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Thought Bubble Audio Studios unless otherwise indicated.